Greetings fellow Carbonites. We're going to the Mun today. Same rocket as before, just with a couple of extra lumps attached to it to fulfill the various missions that we have ongoing. So let's jump to the launch site. And it's another sunny day at Kerbin Space Centre. So we have a wee bit of wrangle, makes it easier. The first item we're looking for is the TR2V stack decoupler. So we have the staging set for that, so off we go. Nice steady progress up. Tanks in the crossfeed configuration again, so to feed into the segments and those feed into the central core. Tilted over a wing tail, getting going, coming up on the sound barrier. So separation successful for the first two boosters. Profile is nominal. 12,000 metre, 13,000 metre, watching the speed. The speed's coming up nicely. Height's coming up nicely. Let's have a look at our watts. 27.5 so far. Profile is good. Fuel down in the left corner there. Okay there. Plenty of fuel. Checking the staging. Things are primed and ready. Preparing for separation of the last two boosters. There's our amp watts going up nicely. 65,000. Bit. Our speed is now good for the mission. Altitude is about to the correct range. There we go. We'll stage and then we'll test the separator. There's the stage and the separator has been tested. Excellent. Right, on into orbit now for the next lot of missions. So the next one would be transmit and recover scientific data from space around Kerbin. The TR-18A stack decoupler, we may as well, since we've got a high initial launch, we'll get up into a high circular orbit, climb up into the 270 to 280,000 metre range, do the next test, and then we're off to the Mun. Have I got the right stack decoupler this time? Yes, I have. Let's get rid of the nose cone. There we go, and the coupler is now available for use. Get the ship tilted over, ready for thrusting. Right, get the manoeuvre node set out for getting up to the higher orbit. For the next test of the TR-18A stack decoupler. And the orbit doesn't have to be fully in that area, it just has to pass through that area as an orbit, and then the contract can be accomplished. So you don't have to have a periaps and apoaps in the 270 to 280 range, you just have to have somewhere in the orbit that range. Right, getting ready for the orbital insertion burn. I always set the node and then go around about 50-50 either side of the node when I know I've got plenty fuel to do the fuel burn with the one set of engines. Let's see if we can get any science. Nope, no science from here, we've had this one all. But what we'll do is we'll get the logger pressure and transmit the data, and that's now accomplished that task. So we don't have to worry about that one on the way back, because it just say transmit from space around Kerbin. You don't have to be in an orbit to do it, just in space, which is above 70,000 metres. So we're on our burn now. Getting the orbit circularised, ready for the next test. We can't test the mainsail as I'm not able to mount it really successfully for combining it with other missions at present. And it requires a suborbital trajectory anyway, so we'll do that one next as a standalone item. We'll likely reuse most of the spacecraft we use for the current missions. So you got Getty Gamer, he's the Russian space agency. You got Chaos Wolf, he's running as the American space agency, and then you got Skinflint, European space agency, which I am running. So I am trying to do everything as cheaply as I can. And yes, there's likely ways of being even cheaper, but I think I'm doing okay with getting as cheap as possible. I'm the Skinflint bunch. So our apoapse is coming up nicely. We'll cut off just as it gets in. There we go. Get rid of the node. Let's have a look. 283, slightly high, but that doesn't matter. So we'll start boosting round. Wait, where's the moon? Let's forget the moon round. The Mun, I should say, not the moon. It's the Mun. Add the new manoeuvre node. And while we're cruising round, we'll get the manoeuvre node set up for getting to the Mun for the next stage of the mission. And I still haven't found all the changes in the Kerbal program since the last time I actually played. Right, so we have an encounter. It's not ideal yet. We'll have a little play and see if we can get into an orbit. Yes, it is orbiting the Mun. Yep, right. Oh, which way shall we go? Which way shall we do this? Let's have a look from the Mun end. Oh, right, we're not going to orbit, we're going to smack into it. So we need to change that node slightly. Let's give that a wee tweak. No, not that one. There we go, that's better. Not quite out. There we go, we have a periaps. 95. That's not bad at all. Delta V isn't too bad either. We have plenty of fuel. Right, let's have a look now. Where are we? Right, that's set, that's set. Where do we need to be? Oh yes, we're doing this other node. Right, let's get back to the spaceship and see what we're doing. See if we've got any science. Right, we'll just warp out a touch because we've done low orbit science. We'll see if we can pick any higher orbit science up while we're out and about. Yeah, at this point I forgot what the key is to get focus back to Kerbin. You just double click on it, of course. Right, get our orientation right. The sticky bit pointing in the right direction. Or the hot bit. And get ready for our next burn. And we should be coming up on the 270 for the next test, which is a stage test as well. So the decoupler is sitting in the staging, and remembering not to have it before your after your engine cut off. That would really mess things up if you eject your engine and fuel tank before you've actually got where you want to go. So I'm just checking here. Yep, that's fine. We'll just bring the other one down just to make sure we have it in the right place. And there we go. We've done the test. It's popped off the front of the spacecraft. And the rest of the spacecraft is still with us, so that is good. Right, let's get 3 minutes away from our next burn. Let's warp in a touch and get ready for our next burn. We're now pointing in the right direction. Hey, we're doing quite well for missions at the moment. Here we go. So we want about 18 seconds, 19 seconds for setting our burn. Right, point in the right direction. All systems are go. Go for lunar injection. Just burn off the rest of the fuel there. Get rid of that. And now we've got a little engine, which is very efficient because it doesn't have a great impulse, but we're in space. And let's head for the Mun. Watching the apoaps climb up, and then once we get into the right area, we'll tune things and get into as low a cost an orbit of the Mun that will accomplish our next mission. So far we've done one orbit of Kerbin, and now we're off to the Mun. Yeah, I could have done the stack separator on the way to the Mun, but I thought that we'll do it as an individual orbit. Give Jebediah a wee bit more space time, so we can rack up some more records for longest space flight. So he's already been round the Mun. When we fly by, he's now going to get an orbit of the Mun. Right, Apops is climbing. Our thrust vector's slightly off, but we should be okay. Now for a wee bit of finesse, there we go. Our encounter's coming in. We'll get a fairly low encounter. That will do. That will give us low Mun science. Yep, so we're just going for a stable with no height requirements, just a stable orbit, and then a return. So here we go. Right, just checking things, and we'll time warp and get a wee bit closer. Get rid of the maneuver node, we don't need that anymore. And we have changed the sphere of influence, so we're now in the Mun area. So let's add another maneuver and get an orbit. That was a wee bit tight, so we'll open it out just to the point where it becomes circular. There we go. That's the least amount of fuel needed to get an orbit, which is what we need to accomplish the mission. So let's time warp in a wee touch, and then we'll see if we can get some science. Get the spacecraft pointing in the right direction. And we'll time warp down a touch. I don't like the warp to maneuver. I prefer using the time warp because I can always stop in between and tweak things, or if I remember, oh, must do this, I can do that then. So here we go, climbing down into the Mun gravity well. Then we'll get an assisted, gravity assisted turn round the Mun. And while we're here, let's see if we can get any science, because we have done a flyby, so the high level science, I believe we've got it all, but we never know. We'll keep trying and see if we can get something on the way round. And we do have a materials bay there, and we'll do that when we're in lower orbit. So the next time we come back to the Mun, we should be doing a landing. Right, whip round the backside of the Mun. And Jebediah will be feeling very much alone soon as we go behind the Mun and lose contact with home planet of Kerbin. And the burn point isn't particularly critical here, so it's just a retrograde burn, and just to pull an orbit instead of a flyby. That's all we're doing. So we came in quite close, get a nice gravity assist round, get the burn started. We're not in a hurry, so we're only doing a couple of % burn. Give Jebediah plenty of time to have a look at the stars and the Mun for his next landing, when he's actually going to touch the surface of the Mun. Okay, that was a gravity assist slingshot, which would have put us out onto a sun orbit, which we didn't really want to do. I think Jebediah might want to go home, so we'll burn a wee bit more and bring the encounter into a actual orbit insertion. Here we go, there we are, spot on. Right, as you see, orbit the Mun now accomplished. Now let's see if we can get any science. Crew report, yep, there we go. Observe the goo. What do we get? The goo feels right at home. Ooh. Pressure, it's a vacuum, and temperature, it's a bit cold up here, and observe the material bay. There we go, 75 science for that one. And we have another contract here, which is an EVA report. There we go, EVA. And you don't have to let go of the spacecraft to have the spacewalk. Holding onto the ladder is perfectly sane, because we haven't tried this RCS backpack yet, so we like to keep a hold of the spacecraft. Right, let's get some of the science stored in this junk box that has tape drives in it. Collect the data out of the goo and throw it in the box, so if the goo canister gets damaged, we don't lose the data. Right, let's get back on board. Right, now we have to get ready for the return journey. The Science Junior is going to be ejected when we approach, so we'll store the data out of that. Right, what do we need to do? We now need to get Jebediah back to Kerbin without frying him. So let's bring the nav ball up, let's see where we are, and let's get things sorted out. So for a cheap return to Kerbin, you add your manoeuvre when you're heading away from Kerbin. So you sling round the moon and you get the approach. So I'm just checking to see if we've got a free return out at the Apple Apps. No, the delta V requirement's way too much, so we don't have a free return. So we're going to have to do one orbit of the Mun as we go. So when you're travelling away from the Mun, that's how you get back to Kerbin. So just tweak the nodes and we'll get a nice approach. And that's not working too well either. What am I doing wrong here? I'm getting something wrong. At this point I had a bit of a brain fart. Why is my ship not working? Why is nothing working? Everything's switched off for some reason. What's going on? What's going on? No, that's not working. Display off. Well, that bit's working, but the rest of it's not. Oh yes, I was in time acceleration. When you're in time acceleration, you can't interact with much on the spacecraft. Right, we're now in high orbit. Let's see if we can get any data. No. Might have got this all on the flyby that we did yesterday. Yeah, I guess so. This is all done on the flyby. Right, let's get back to home sweet Kerbin. Why is this not stopping? Why is this not stopping? Oh yes, forgot. Jebediah was outside, so SES was turned off. Right, let's get ourselves back to Kerbin. There we go. That manoeuvre node wasn't very well. Okay, we'll get rid of that one. Right, we are now on our way back to Kerbin. Only used a few delta V there. Just enough to escape the Mun influence. So I'm just tweaking it down a wee bit. 82,000, that's good. That's not too close, but that will get us going nicely. Because we don't want to fry Jebediah now after we've done all this good work. Right, bit of time dilation, time warp. Bye bye, Mun. I'll see you tomorrow. And down we go. Right, let's get set up now for getting the staying at Kerbin now and actually landing this craft. And I should have put that coupler on the other way round and it would have ejected off the craft. But well, we'll bring some space souvenirs back. We'll cut it up and we'll sell it for souvenirs, and that will help the budget for the next flight. Right, are we right? We're getting turn ourselves round. Get the fiery bit pointing in the right direction. Get a wee bit closer to our periaps, and we'll start our braking manoeuvre. for a landing. Fuel is okay. Lapse is coming down nicely. Fuel status A-OK. I think we might have a wee bit spare. We might have 30-40 units of fuel left. We've finished our braking manoeuvre. Yeah, we've kept the orbits quite flat compared to the plane of the Mun, which also saves fuel because we're not having to correct our angle of the dangle. There we go. Oh, 100 units of fuel left. But we're not quite, we're still in orbit, we've not got a fuel braking yet. Now we'll go around to our reasonably high apoaps, and then we'll start burning again. Just off our periaps. We've got landmass ahead. That's better than dropping in the sea. That's safer. Right, let's use the last of this fuel. So this is the deorbit burn. Now we can get rid of the big mass of fuel tank, engine and battery pack and get ourselves down into a landing. To split the two parachutes, so if I'm not going up, I've always got a spare. I want to make sure the batteries and the pyros work fine as well. Our orbital speed's coming down, and we're actually suborbital now. Dropping nicely, about to run out of fuel. So we had about 30 units of fuel when we went suborbital. Let's see if we can get any science. No pressure. Transfer that into the canister. Nope, it's already there. Right, ditch that stage. And now we're in the hands of Sir Isaac Newton. And notice the mistake. I've got the heat shield in the wrong place. The battery pack should have separated with the fuel tank, or the stack decoupler was in the wrong place. Ah well, let's see if a battery pack can survive re-entry. There's the stack decoupler over there. Oops, ah well, that's the glitch for this mission. Heat effects, angle of approach is good. Is this battery unit going to survive, or are we going to lose it? Is it going to survive? Speed's coming down, speed's coming down. We haven't got too many heat icons yet. Oh, we're slowing down, we're getting down, heating's dying off. Yes, we're going to make it. We're going to make it. And the mystery goo container survived as well. Are we above another bio? Long temperature? No, we're not getting anything. So we actually must be quite close to the space station as well then. Right, let's get one parachute out. And we'll throw the other one out. and we'll time warp down because this bit's the nice and easy bit. I bet that battery box is going to go bang when we hit the ground. But you could say that's the crumple zone as well, but it will spill battery acid on the ground, which Mr. Environment might not be too happy about. So will it go boom or will it not go boom? I like a boom at the end of the episode. Here we go. And we got a boom. What else? And that was it. There we go. We have landed and all our instruments are intact. Do we have any of that? No. Right, let's get back to the Space Centre and see what science we got. "305 science. That's a good bunch. Right, while we're here, we'll tidy up the launch pad. Didn't want to do that. Tidy up the launch pad, press the other mouse button. There we go. I always like to clean up, and that's us ready for the next mission. So what did we get? We got explore the moon, explore the Mun. Oh, and we've got a few milestones. There we go. Let's get rid of these.